Hey guys, what's Gucci? Basically, welcome back to our baking show, the Nick and Char baking show. Today, we will be making some brownies and speaking about how my production skills developed throughout this project, aka the final task. I'm gonna get first to warming the butter. You guys like my apron? It says soccer is my favorite season. Last time we decided to make this video, we almost burnt the house down. Basically, guys, how my production skills developed throughout the final task in scenes that I didn't act in which Sabrina was acting in as Madeline, I had to help Valentina direct, as in like angles, and tell Sabrina like maybe you should do this instead. I feel like I really developed that kind of production skill. My editing skills really developed a lot. Music, audio-wise, just editing clips together, all that kind of stuff. Finding music. Anyway, I'd say professional-wise, honestly, I feel like our group, we were sort of unorganized with the way we were kind of doing things, I'm not gonna lie. We started filming earlier than everyone else, getting a lot of things done very, like ahead of time. I feel like we could have done a better job because I think everyone's schedules were just packed. Like, if I was doing something a day, it was a day that Valentina wasn't or Sabrina wasn't, or Valentina was busy but me and Sabrina weren't, or Sabrina was busy. It was very complicated to just find a date that we could all kind of do stuff in. At one point it was just like we were getting closer and closer to the due date and we only had a bit of stuff recorded. We had to get rid of being scared to tell a friend like, oh, like, can you please? It was just like, you're gonna have to be here no matter what because we have to film. I'm sorry if you can't, like, figure it out. That's what had to be done. That's what really had to be done. So basically, a way that my production skills developed also was through problem solving because there was a lot of cafe complications. Because we went through a lot of cafes. The first cafe was the Press and Grind Cafe. They said no. Then the cafe by my house said no. It was the Bowling Green Yard Cafe. And then the other cafe was Capital One Cafe that said no. In the end, we ended up going to Sabrina's church that we were allowed to film at that day and kind of like making it seem like a cafe almost, as you saw in Final Task. We had plenty of backup options, but in the end, we just had to go with the plan D. We obviously had backups, but in this one, it further developed even more than it had done back then. We had to develop our own props and settings. We had to go to Valentina's house. We had to use the guest bedroom, decorate it so that it looked like someone actually was there and it was someone's room. Put pictures around. We had to make sure that even if we were filming on different days, that the outfits were still the same or at least somewhat similar to keep a flow. We ended up using Valentina's neighbor's dog, Abaco. We had to get all our own stuff for the costume. For example, for Sabrina's waitress costume, name tags, all that kind of stuff. We weren't really flexible with our time. Me and Valentina did the editing because Sabrina was busy. It could still be dependent on Sabrina dependability because she was still there. Like, we would send her clips during editing and tell her like, hey, is this good? Like, should we cut it more, cut it less? Whatever, like, does this flow well? Things like that. We could still depend on her even though she was busy because at the end of the day, she was a member of the project. She was in it 110%. All of our production skills came together just for this because we knew that it was a very, very, very important project. Okay guys, we're going to chop up the chocolates.
Full out next time.
Horrible. I'll see you guys in the next question.